Now, I want to reiterate that the best way we can get protein is through whole food sources. But there are times when we're in a hurry, we need a quick meal, or sometimes people do need extra protein. I find the smoothie the best way to do that. And I think this is a great recovery drink after working out as well. So let me share my favorite. First, what I do is I look at the liquids. Usually for me, it's like almond milk unsweetened or coconut water, which is great for replacing your electrolytes. I then add my probiotic, which is my organic creamy cashew yogurt, and it adds a good texture. If you can have dairy, you use regular yogurt. Obviously, you're going to get more protein from that. You don't need as much powder or no powder at all. And then I add fruits. I added a half a cup of frozen blueberries. That's always my go-to in almost every smoothie. And then my second fruit, it just depends on what's in season. It might be a peach. It might be a kiwi that's overripe with the skin is actually good. I needed a little more carbs today, so I added an extra half of a banana. And so when bananas are getting ripe and I can't keep up, I just peel them, break them in half, and put them in the freezer. So that way you can just use the half in your smoothie. And that's when I mix it all together to make sure I have enough liquid before I add the fat. And then for fat, I either add a nut butter. My go-to is usually almond butter, but I ran out. But I do love this nutso butter from Costco because it has cashews, almonds, Brazil nuts, flaxseed, chia seed, hazelnut, pumpkin seeds, and sea salt. All organic ingredients for some good protein and fat and fiber. Today, I'm adding an avocado for fat, very healthy fat and very high in fiber as an alternative to nuts. And then finally, I'm going to add some chia seed for some extra fiber, but also omega-3 and protein. And yes, I get a very big bag at Costco. If you want that recovery, adding the 5 grams of creatine, and creatine is good for muscle recovery, but also focus for our brain. We don't want to forget the protein powder here. I'm using my collagen powder today to top it off. I add veggies, and you can either add mixed greens that you have in the fridge. My garden is exploding with kale right now, so I just take the leaves off of a piece of kale and I just throw them in there and let the blender do the job. So voila, you have a smoothie with 22 grams of protein. And even without that big piece of kale, you get 12 grams of fiber, but you want to add that extra green you can see for a smoothie. That's always optional, up to you, but it's a great way to get so much of what you need in a wholesome way with mostly whole ingredients and a protein powder. And again, without using a protein powder, you can use more nuts and seeds, but there's many options and better ways to get your protein in a day. So until next time, be well.